EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready. 5-9. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, kill. Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down. Hey, Alpha.
From the 24, Breeze is going to fire one deep. He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 36 yards on the play. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Breeze going to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Breeze to throw. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
To throw, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Duke Riley with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He'll return it from the 6. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
55's my guy, 55. Stop your whining. Tight dog. Check, ready to go.
Here's Ryan to throw. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On the return, it's Kamara. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
At the 41-yard line.
Ready. Check 55 to Mike. Tackles. Kill.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9. At the Saints 40-yard line.
Mike 55. Gun. Drop deep. Mike 55.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Mike 55. Right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Mike 55. Let him know.
Hey, Charlie.
Under 10.
Hey, South.
Hey, switch gears. 55's my guy, 55.
Hey, South.
Get that ball.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Ready. Got 25.
Check 55 to Mike. I got one. Rush in. Out.
Wide, 25 back.
Follow following the fumble recovery. It's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
It's on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 22-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
It's just me and you.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Got it. Move.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Face.
Motion. Mike, 55.
On second down, Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Ready, Blue 80. Got it.
Watch the blood. Motion, blood. Hey, check right. Watching your five. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. No.
Here's Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing, but there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely has been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Grady Jarrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. He'll take this inside the 40. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? Heavy? What you got?
Hey, orbit.
Give me some. Here we go. 55's Mike, guy, 55. Watch the run. Hey, they're running it.
51, Sam. Face.
Check.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
First and 10.
On first down, it's Freeman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. I got it. Shit. Check 9. Shit, express. Shit.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
A 27-yard attempt.
The kick by Bryant is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
You kill. Go. 45. Mike, 45.
Now Breeze. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Now Ryan on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Check 45, come on. You're good. Like 4, ready.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this a 39-yard attempt. And it's off the crossbar. Oh, he couldn't even get it there. It's no good. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 2nd and inches, Ryan, the Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Down, ready, check. Mike, 55, right there in the middle, 55. Here we go. 36. Back. Ready to go.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him, has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ryan gets it to his tight end, Hooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
We got 3 down.
Now it's Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan, under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
To throw is Ryan. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Breeze now to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Yellow waiting. 21. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Move. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Freeman again, a first down carry. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 43-yard line.
Ready, blue 80, black 25.
65, 65, 65. Switch. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Now Ryan. It's complete to Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
39.
To throw on 3rd down. Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Freeman. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 28. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
He's brought down at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 2, Ryan, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready, blue 80.
55 to Mike. Coming.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's second down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. There's Breeze. And the pressure gets to him again. Adrian Claiborne getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.